Hello and welcome to the Round 22 injury update presented by AIA Vitality. So the weekend's game, certainly the Friday night one, it was a tough night for the medical staff and got a lot of blokes with ice packs on and things like that at the end of the game. So there was a fair bit of assessment done over the weekend. So the first one we'll chat about is Nathan Murphy. He looked like he had a really, not a significant, but he looked like he had a decent sort of ankle injury, and we got a scan done and that showed some damage in there. And those sort of, grade 1 or grade half or grade 1 syndesmosis injuries can respond really differently. So it's one of these ones where there's a saying goes around, we assess the man and not the scan, and that's what we're sort of doing with Murph at the moment. He's bounced in today, early in the week, certainly this week, he's bounced in really, really positively. So he'll be assessed during the week. We're expecting that he gets up and does some of training on Wednesday, and then we've just got to decide whether that level of training is comfortable for us to pick him on the weekend or not. So there'll be an assessment go on through our main training session, and then we'll be able to update after that on his availability for this weekend. So he's recovered a lot better than what probably we first suggested, so a real positive one there. And then Nick Decos, so he had a real direct impact injury to his knee. There was some bone bruising in there, and then obviously the scan revealed a little bit of a hairline fracture, and it's on the very minor end of that at the moment. We know that fractures are typically that sort of 5-6 week mark, so at the moment Nick will miss the final 3 rounds certainly, and then we've obviously got the bye weekend as well up our sleeve, which gives us a bit more time to get to work, and he'll be available sometime through the final series. A couple of late exclusions from our VFL team over the weekend. So the first one was Josh Carmichael. He had an issue on main training day last week where he had sort of some referred pain in his hamstring, but the real issue was going on at the hip. And he had a scan, he had some inflammation in his hip. He's had some medical treatment through that over the weekend that caused him to be unavailable for the game. Started to complete rehab and doing bike sessions, and he's building some strength up through that area. We're not expecting any issues, but he will be assessed on Wednesday to see if that issue has settled down enough for him to be able to complete a training session. Should he get through that main training session, he'll be available on the weekend. And the other one, which was even later, was Will Kelly. So on our captain's run day, so day before the game, he just had an ankle roll, and then often sometimes those ankle rolls can settle in 24 hours, but he's got progressively worse. He's had a scan and revealed some ligament damage in there, so it's a bit on the more significant side of ankle roll, so he'll miss another one this week, unfortunate one for him. He'll be restricted to some straight line running duties, and then we'll look to drop him into training next week and assess his availability beyond that, so that's where Will Kelly's at. A couple of guys who missed on the weekend. So the first one was Finn McRae, who's been out with that thumb injury. Really positive news early this week in that he's now been cleared for contact, so should he get through Wednesday's training session, which we don't see as being any issues, he'll be available to play. He's put in a power of work on the running and those kinds of things. He's running loads of where they need to be, so he should drop straight back into his normal game time on the weekend. And the other one's Dane, who's progressing really well from his foot injury, and he's just getting into more drills and more drills and more drills, and starting to get into some contested work, starting to get in some more dense work where he's having to react and apply all the agility things we've worked on him in rehab, apply them now into football settings, and he'll just keep on increasing his training volumes and training intensity over the coming weeks, with a view still to get him right for that day 1 of pre-season next year. And that's all for the Round 22 injury update.